Hello and welcome to Scarredlands Family Affair, episode 17, The Hag's Feast. When last we met, our intrepid adventurers had been heading westward with the ultimate intention of going to Hollowfaust, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Is that where we were planning on heading?
It was a pit stop.
Pit stop on way to Gleaming Valley.
Right.
Definitely not a final destination.
No. Well, unless we screw up.
Literally.
There's a good chance. Just saying. You would not be the first party to plan a quick stop in Hollowfaust and then become part of their military.
You have been conscripted. Because you died.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
remember to get your receipt when you go.
While you're on your way, you're probably like about a third, maybe closer, maybe 2/3 the way through the heteronomy camping when you were approached by a small little child who was wounded and just wanted some help. And then you all violently and viciously attacked this poor child.
They lied to us.
You discovered that this child was, in fact, a horribly grotesque hagling and had several grotesque hagling buddies, all of whom tried to steal Sirsasha and were bravely thwarted by your heroic efforts. But they did manage to steal a couple of bedrolls and
fucking bow.
A bow, right. And then take off. So I believe we wrapped things up with just the combat had just ended and they had made good their escape.
Cheating.
Yes, many of these escapes were done, in fact, by Dirty Pool, in the sense that they used their burrow ability to go underground and take off in a Bugs Bunny-esque sort of madcap run for freedom. So yeah, that's where we parked. The fight is over. What would you like to do? I know one of you was in process. Triss, were you actually actively riding after them still, or no?
If I can tell where they went, but it wasn't clear that I could tell where they went.
Why don't you go ahead and make a survival check?
Okie dokie. No idea.
Yeah, you don't have the trail, but I mean, you are trying to do that from the back of a moving mock dragon. Who you are not necessarily like proficient with riding, right?
No.
On your left. No, your other left.
So you are.
My animal handling is quite good, but yes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But you're just not able to assess any trails from the back of this dragon. Now, having said that, if you hopped off and took some time, you might be able to. But for the moment, they are lost to you. So what all would you all like to do?
I'm just staring at the ground where the one that stole my bedroll went. Hoping it comes back out so I can play whack-a-mole with it, but...
I think Jedryn is standing on the back of the wagon going,
It should do my job. Does anyone need healing? Jedryn, are you okay?
I'm definitely not okay.
No.
At my feet was a hagling, and I'm going to have the corpse over my shoulder, and I'm making my way over towards everybody at the cart to kind of like check on Sirsasha.
Yeah.
I'm going over to see if anyone needs healing. It doesn't look like
I could. I'm at 12 out of 27, so I could eat.
Your little green bar didn't go down, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, the linkage between Beyond 20 and what's it called is not necessarily as solid as it could be.
I'll throw a cure light on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Korggix, as you're looking for Sasha over.
For a very pathetic cure light on you.
I don't have.
No.
Hold on.
Stay right there, Slaughter.
My browser is eating my memory alive. All right, what did you say? Investigation check, you said?
Yep. And just so we're clear, we have haggling corpses down here by the cart, but we also have one at the north side of the
I had a 19. I said it twice by accident.
No, that's fine.
It was actually 20 because I have a -1.
Good to go. So you look her over and you can see that two things. One, when they dropped her, because they had her up and then they dropped her. So when they dropped her, it cracked the wagon. So you're pretty sure if this wagon like goes over a bump too fast, you're going to have one less wagon.
Oh, geez.
More concerning, though, is that it also cracked her a little bit. So there are a couple places right at the point of impact where she's cracked and like a couple of chips have flaked away.
I mean, she can't be worse for wear with just a few chips.
Right. It doesn't look like a fucking lung fell out or something, but there's just like...
Well, Korggix was pissed before, as he is. He's definitely not any happier.
We're getting to the point where it's going to be not only a stone of flesh, but a resurrection, not just a raised dead. Mm-hmm. It's like bringing her back is getting more and more expensive. Is she's even willing to show up?
Yeah, well, I'd rather try than not at
all. Gix, while you're handling that corpse, I need you to make Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh, yeah. What kind of awful shit does it have? $16.
Ooh.
Okay. Excellent. You don't notice anything or feel any strange effects or anything along those lines?
Is it a bad idea to feed them to the flesh strippers? Millie? I know you're thinking about it.
I mean, with that, so I resisted something, I assume. Would I have felt odd in any way?
You don't feel odd in any way, shape, or form. I will give you this though, because you got a natural 20 on your investigation check. I will let you know that some of the places where this armor is riveted onto them, the corpse that you have, where the eye bands are riveted in place, and the loincloth appears to be stapled to its region. There's no side.
Yeah,
it's just stapled over the butt and it's a flap that's stapled over the butt and stapled over the junk. Everywhere where you see that metal is flaking off and just dirty brownish red with rust.
Neat. So they're all have tetanus.
You don't feel your joints getting stiff yet, so I guess that's a good sign.
Do I know whether the flesh strippers can eat this?
Make a medicine check.
All right. 10.
I'd help you, but
there's no outside appearance of any kind of infection per se. They don't look sick. They don't look diseased. And even if they were, the flesh strippers can fucking stomach most shit. Oh, you got leprosy? That's all right. That's a spice that's a delicacy where we're from. They're fine.
Mummy rot, no problem. Little mummy flesh strippers running around.
Right.
Muy sabroso.
And they don't have any outward experience. Oh, go ahead.
It's fine.
I gotta feed him something. They're not gonna be happy on good berries all the time. I don't like this. I really don't like this.
I shrug and start dragging a corpse over to the box of flesh strippers.
All right. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, Millie.
Neat.
I'm just despairing.
Constitution. Oh, no.
Oh, no!
You feel no ill effects, nothing different. You grab them and drag them over the flesh strippers.
That's suspicious.
All right.
This may end up being a very short campaign.
What is Cheshire doing among all this? And which corpse are you dragging over, Millie?
Whichever one is closest to me.
The one that's closest to you that's not being currently held by a sibling is this hagling up here, so let's...
All right.
They're chomping. Hey, Cheshire. What are you doing?
Is Jedryn still freaking out?
I mean... The one that you're... Oh, God.
Define freaking out. Is Jedryn still pissed
I'm
about
probably
her bow?
fuming at this point instead of actively screaming and trying to figure out how to fix... I'm probably grumbling at the wagon and Sir Sasha's corpse and trying to figure out if there's a way I can, I don't know, like bubble wrap her or fix the wagon or something.
And
Okay.
Jedryn, why don't you go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
That would be a 17.
Excellent. Cool. You notice nothing, feel nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I see Jedryn like rummaging on the cart, and I've noticed the cart, so I'll just, in the most nonchalant way, the corpse that I brought over, just kind of drop it from my shoulder, like not like, oh, this was once living, like it's a sack of flour. Like, that's how I drop it.
Dropping it into the cart or onto the ground?
No, next to it. Right, because I assume we're not taking it with us, but I'm going to like crawl under the wagon and see if it's like bowed and there's like anywhere to put like stints or anything to like reinforce it.
Sure. Are you proficient with carpenter's tools, tinker's tools, or land vehicles?
No, just wood carver's tools.
Does anyone have
tools work? Go ahead and make a wisdom check, adding your proficiency bonus.
Anybody have the mending spell? That would be handy. I don't have it though. I took Druid craft.
I think that added it in. Yeah, so 10.
Okay. So you have two major problems. One is that there's areas where, yes, it is bowed, and in fact, a couple of the cross beams are what? Oh, I thought you...
you lagged real hard, and I thought we lost you, but you're back.
Missed half your dialogue there.
Sorry. So you have two major problems. One is that there are some bows, some that are bowed, and some that are even like visibly cracked at the bottom. Those you could probably reinforce by just running some wood across the other way. But you can see also that there has been a hairline crack in the axle. So you'll need to replace that as well. It looks like you could probably ride on it until
it's just not going fast anymore.
Until you can't anymore. It's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, right now this is going to keep functioning, but we're going to hit a bump or something's going to happen, and then it's just... Then
I'm going to have to carry this whole fucking thing.
Then this thing stops. No longer... then it becomes a sled.
I'll just kind of like peek out, like a mechanic would peek out from underneath the car at Jedryn.
What you got here is it's broken.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just be like, it's broke. The axle is absolutely broken, but it will work for now. We're just not going fast. And as I'm like crawling out and I'm like on my knees standing up, I'm like, there's a few things that we can fix though if we find some wood to like shimmy under there and help stabilize things a little bit.
Do we have enough cash to buy a new wagon if we run into a town?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do.
So it just has to hold up until we can get to a town or something, I think.
Well, what about those little bastards that took our shit? Like, are we trying to find them? I kind of feel like that we shouldn't let them just ambush
get away with it
either.
Yeah.
Like they, just not anything good comes from somebody who staples a loincloth on.
they did with the what? With the who now?
And I look back down and I just grab it by the arm by the ankle and I like hold it up and the skin flap that's that's performing as a loincloth, like I guess rips off the weight of being upside down. Probably. I'm like that. And I'll like point at like the rusted metal, like grossness. I'm like, we shouldn't let that exist.
The healer in me wants to study the anatomy. The rest of me wants to throw up. I'm trying to decide what's more important.
I'm like,
you're like, trapezius.
Millie.
Yeah.
I would like you to make an animal handling check for me, please.
All right.
Oh, no. Roll for initiative. Pet flesh eaters. Not happy.
Awesome. So
great.
You put this corpse down and you release the flesh strippers on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first couple run up and like do their numbing bite, basically. And you see like other flesh strippers like come up and start like biting them on the tail and pulling them back. And then the ones that did the initial bite start sniffing each other and sniffing the body, and they back up.
Whoa!
Maybe we do not feed this to the flesh strippers.
Did I see that? Did I see that little interaction?
No, but Millie's calling out about it.
Okay, I'm not even like. Millie?
I click my tongue and tell them to back to box.
And they go back to the box, and like you see, like a couple of them like look over their shoulder at the body as they go back in. Like
I threw the body that I was holding near the wagon as close to the fire as I can. Hopefully, that speaks for itself.
I want to come over and get a closer look because I'm just like, that was freaky.
I would be real careful about that.
I'm coming as close to go over to look at this flesh strippers because I'll be like, good boy, you found bad food and you didn't eat it. Good boys, good girls. Good.
Should probably snag them some genuine meat as a reward.
Yeah. Sure, I could do that.
Did we hunt any stuff?
They were on a hunting trip.
Yeah, you did. You were returning with a successful hunt, so you do have enough meat to feed everyone.
I hunted. I would assume that I just like whatever we found. I'm just consumed.
I mean,
it's rabbits
for us.
What squirrel?
Yeah, that's basically what I was like. When the fight happened, I had a squirrel tail sticking out of my mouth the whole time.
Right, there's still whatever Zopa and was it Cheshire managed to like keep away from Korggix. You have probably like a fox and a squirrel, and you're out of Gleda's Grove now, so the squirrels are just slightly larger than normal and don't have aren't like on steroids.
Speaking of, if I would have eaten that, would I have eaten over a pound?
Oh, you've probably consumed over a pound of flesh.
So then my question is for you, how much temp HP do I have?
Does that include?
It's based off of their intelligence.
Oh, their intelligence is 1.
Okay, so minimum of 1.
Yeah.
Easy. I'm feeling good.
So yeah, what would you like to do?
Feed the flesh strippers.
Yep.
All right. You feed them. They're like suspicious as they sniff this one before they bite it, but then tear at it like you used to.
I feel bad now.
Well, I mean, you can tell them that it was an accident, or better yet, maybe you guys can ask them. And I look at the 2 sisters. Maybe you should be like, "Hey, what the fuck is wrong with the corpse?"
I think it's good because they'll learn to check things before they eat them. That's good.
Are you guys able to understand the flesh strippers talking back to you? Because they could tell you like what is wrong with that thing.
I can, but they have an int of 2, so there's not much they can explain. But yeah, I can understand them.
Worth a shot.
Hey guys, good job.
I mean, worst case, you console them a little bit and be like, "Ooh, our bad. We didn't know."
Are you going
so I can understand their intention based on their noises and motions. Is what it says for my class.
I have speak with animals.
Oh yeah, we can cast the spell too. This is me without having to cast the spell.
Yeah.
If you want to cast Speak with Animals, you're welcome to. Triss, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw for yourself, and then roll a d20 for Slaughter too.
And of course, I took the kind of rat folk that has resistance to poison rather than resistance to disease, so that's super helpful.
Hate to tell you, your resistance to disease wouldn't matter.
Can I get advantage on a roll?
That's what I feel.
I know what it is, but thankfully we're only carriers. So it's like COVID, it's asymptomatic COVID. We can still spread it.
Don't affect me. We'll just kill other people, especially well-meaning ones.
I don't know how to roll for Slaughter.
Oh, just roll a d20 and I'll add the.
Sure.
Okay. Sandman. All right, excellent. And Millie, you cast your spell and look down at sort of the leader of the pack, and they lock eyes with you.
I asked them, "What did you smell on this body?"
Sickness, like old blood.
Bad to eat.
Very bad.
Good job. You did good.
Thank you. And thank you for good food. That one doesn't stink.
Always. I will always give you good food, but it's very good to investigate food first so you don't accidentally eat bad food.
I'll tell the others.
Good. Very good.
Hey, she says investigate the food before we eat it. Yeah, we heard her. Important safety tip. Thanks.
These are going to be the smartest flesh strippers on the continent before we're done with them.
I'm just waiting for Triss to get the awaken spell.
Oh my God. Can you awaken a swarm? Can you actually awaken a swarm?
I'd allow it because that's funny. So, I'm sorry, Cheshire, what did you say you were doing in all this? I thought I asked you a question and never got an answer, maybe.
Oh.
We lost you there for a minute again.
We lost you again. You keep going.
I think after Cheshire calms down by having a small chat with Millie, he's gonna go and just kind of bullshit with Jedryn.
Yeah.
And then realize, oh, your bow's gone. Yeah, no, that pissed me off too.
As you're interacting with Millie, why don't you go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh. I'm contagious.
Awesome. Okay. And Zopa, what would you like to do?
So when the mole does not show up again, she's going to go pick up the things, the dead animals that she dropped on her way over here, because it's really hard to shoot a bow and carry dead animals. And then she'll bring those over and put them in the cart.
Excellent.
And say, we've got a crack in our cart. Lovely.
And as you're walking over to that whole little infected region, why don't you go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Will do.
Yes.
And
half of us are carriers.
All of you are carriers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a abject lesson in why you should wash your hands and wear a mask.
Right.
Even me with my 16, I still got infected too.
Sure did.
We're medieval serfs, Travis. Medieval serfs, for fuck's sake.
I pull out my hand sanitizer and offer you a squirt.
And
magical diseases.
Your horse is sick too. All right,
and Slaughter.
Slaughter's infected. Everything is infected.
Well, if Gix is infected with the 16, I don't feel so bad about rolling a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. None of you feel any ill effects. None of you have any problems.
No, we're just don't go around near Grandma though.
Especially if Grandma's been reincarnated as a Hollow Legionnaire.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Metal.
Well, I assumed that while everybody was doing everything, I found some branches that were like appropriate size to kind of like wedge and fix up the wagon.
Go ahead and make a I guess that would probably be
not the axle, just like the
survival check, probably to find usable wood.
Okay.
You tell me what needs tying up, and I'll tie it up.
So you can probably chop down a couple of branches and make support with that. That'll take you about an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything fancy.
Do you? Do the rest of you want to take that hour to take a short rest?
What time of day is it? Isn't it like evening? Like it was the end of the day when we...
Yeah, you had basically just started packing up. Or just started laying out your camp, rather.
Yeah. Should we try to track down those things in the morning? Zopa? I always look at Zopa for direction.
I'm a little worried about camping here.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we should move on. And go a little further.
Well, are we trying to get our stuff back? And I'm looking at Jedryn, like, are we trying to get our stuff back? Because I know Jedryn's super pissed about the bow. I didn't lose anything, but...
I'll defer to everybody else. I mean, I very much want to go over and light those little fuckers on fire, but...
Jedryn, think back and how did Jedryn come about this short bow? Is this just a short bow that Jedryn picked up at a store, or is this like... As you're thinking about its losses, are you thinking about little short baby halfling Jedryn with dad over your shoulders, like, and this is how you pull?
I'm pretty sure that bow probably got broken in one of Dad's more intensive exercises, where he was like, "Never let your guard down, never, never, never." So, it is one I purchased with my own money, probably, but it is just a bow. And I don't know. Well, actually, how much do I know about hags? I guess I get to roll on Arcana. That should be funny.
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
It was hanging between a 3 and a 17, so that's a 19.
Wonderful. So, quite a bit, really. You're familiar with, they generally draw power from Mormo. They generally are terrible. They oftentimes do set themselves up, kind of insinuate themselves into an area through like illusions and bargaining and corrupting a place until they can exert their influence openly. Those who do bother with that, many of them just kind of fuck off to their own area and declare domain and just kill anything that wanders inside. You do know specifically that those who create haglings are kind of an exceptional level of twisted. Because it requires them to basically, rather than usually if a hag is looking to increase their number, they'll get a hold of a child and raise them up until a certain age and then, engage the transformation. Someone who's creating a hagling, generally speaking, has abandoned all give a shit about, propriety. And it's often actually driven by it's driven by one of two things. Either a very, very sick desire for cannon fodder, because they're comparatively easy to make, or a maternal instinct that's twisted by their relationship to Mormo.
Mama Mormo.
So it could be that whoever created these haglings actually views them as its children.
Yeah.
Or it could be that they made them just have expendable cannon fodder. Neither one of those is a particularly comforting explanation. But there you have it.
And in terms of, starting a bar fight with one, I'm guessing how likely do I think it is that such a fight would play out positively for us versus for the hag?
I mean, hags are known to exist all up and down the power spectrum, but the only ones you ever really hear about are the ones who are extremely powerful. Usually the weaker hags tend not to poke their nose out into the world too much because they know just how dangerous doing so can. Having said that, if this hag is in fact sending out little hagling servants to do its dirty work, that may be a sign that maybe it's not so tough.
Not so tough.
They're ambushing people with a gimmick of little kid.
Well,
save the little kid.
I mean, it kind of scares me that whoever that. Well, yeah, I don't know. If I think our group has decent odds of taking this thing, then I would definitely advise us to go get her.
Maybe we can scout ahead?
Well, Gix has said or feels or has communicated in some way, shape, or form. Anybody who uses children to prey on people who are trying to help kids isn't somebody that we should let stick around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I'm right there with you, but it's more, can we get the job done? So if I think, if on balance I think the odds are okay that we might actually be able to bring this thing down, then I would probably express that to everybody and say, I don't know if we move somewhere else for the night and then come back, but I would like to put this thing down. I don't know if there's going to be anybody else in the area who's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is there are we near a town or anything? Even just like
the last town you passed, the last thing that passes for a town that you passed was a general store and 5 huts that was about a half a day's travel beyond you. Now, according to the maps you have, there's another... you're basically looking at a farm here and a farm there for about the next 30 miles, and then you'll hit a town.
Yeah.
So it's just preying on people that might be going near the this road for just general goods.
Right. And it may go, judging by the fact that, you're moving through kind of the back roads of the hegemony, right? You're not like on the main highways and shit. So it could be weeks or months between Ray making its way through here.
Right. Well, I was just curious if anyone, I mean, I'm sure people would notice if somebody went missing, was what I was thinking. But
well, sure.
If it's super infrequent and it's like very rural, then scouting ahead, we might not see anybody for days. You know? And if we do see somebody, they might not want to talk to us.
We weren't on the main road, but we weren't going through the woods either. I thought we were kind of.
No, you're on kind of like a back road.
A back road. So we should encounter a village
about 30
once
miles
a day, right?
Yeah, about 30 miles from now, we're supposed to hit a village, but
and the way that the geography is, at least in this part of the hegemony, is that you'll you're probably on someone's farmland technically right now, right?
Yeah.
Like everything that's not in a city is kind of divvied up between veterans, who have served their time and now are able to those who want to take land to farm it, can do so. So there's huge plots of this area where there's no town because it's all farmland. And then
my understanding is there's a lot of halflings, Slitherin, and orcs here.
Right.
So depending on which canon you look at. Used to be half orcs. I just assume it's both orcs.
The consensus is that we're not staying here the night. So Gix is going to continue working on the fucking.
Yeah. It's like, do we want to stay this close to haglings?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll come back because we killed half of them.
And Fran, with your role, you can certainly apply knowledge of hags, to any tactical suggestions you would make.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'd like to move on just because I don't like the fact that, your little scavengers don't want to touch those corpses. I'd like not to maybe be around them for the night.
That's fair.
But yeah,
I'm tempted to burn or bury them just so nothing else around here eats them.
Yeah, I would like to burn them.
Yeah, I mean, use sticks to roll them onto the campfire, and then maybe make our way someplace further along the road and come back tomorrow if we decide that's what we want to do.
Well, you'll definitely need to build something bigger than that campfire if you want to burn them.
Yeah.
Well, then why don't we just leave them here overnight, see what happens, and then burn them when we come back?
I can make magical fire now. Handful of fire. So that's
I can literally vomit fire on them.
Show off. I thought you vomited something else.
I can choose any element I want.
Oh.
I won't ever choose fire in combat. Or acid.
Because that would just be rude.
Pretty much.
Well, I have a deep fear of fire and acid.
Yeah, I can understand.
So yeah, so you're planning on burning the bodies, are you going to build them a pyre then? Because I mean, you can light the fire magically easily, but it takes a while to burn a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, with fallen wood, I don't want to kill a tree for this, so I wouldn't let anyone else kill a tree for this.
Do as much as we can with fallen wood, and then I guess move on to the next promising-looking campsite.
Yeah, sure.
Half of us have dark vision. We can find something.
Although while people are sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was gonna.
While people are doing the whatever the heavy work is that Jedryn can't do anything about, I'm gonna climb one of the trees near the road, and on a branch that you can see from the road, but high up, I'm going to go ahead and make some thieves marks indicating dangerous area.
Okay.
Just so that at least people coming along maybe have a chance of going, oh shit, yeah, let's keep riding, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So that's going to probably take you about 2 hours, all said and done. Build a pyre, fix the wagon up as best as you can.
I would also, at some point, like to approach Cheshire and let him know. So, I know you like to rush in with the punching and the stabbing, but I think that maybe it'd be good if you had options for things like what just happened, and I offer him my longbow.
Oh, thank you.
But doesn't that mean you won't have your longbow?
I have 2 longbows.
Oh, right. You bought a new one.
Yeah. And I give you 7 arrows.
Oh. I remember back when I tried shooting this longbow with Millie back when we were younger, and I was like, this is hard. Nah.
And
people make bows taller than me.
I can give Jedryn my sling since I can throw fire at things now. I know it's not a bow, but
I have a short bow for.
Do you have a
spare short bow?
You have a spare short bow?
No, but I have throwing things and I can stab things.
Well, I can stab things too. It's just nice to be able to stab things from a distance when they can't.
Sure, we all.
It's true.
Courtesy of Dad, know how to stab things.
You've noticed that I've been following Cheshire a lot closer.
Ever since he was rent asunder by a dog,
much, right?
Okay.
We are the most united D&D party ever. Like, seriously. I run another game, and there's this one character who's like, I pick up the magic thing, and she just gathers all the magic things, and no one ever gets one.
She's the Roomba.
Make them related. That'll help.
Yeah.
I guess I'll borrow the short bow, but actually no, I'll take the sling, honestly, because you're not going to miss it, I don't think, and I can still do a sneak attack with a sling. So, yeah. Thanks, hon.
All right. So, you any other business you want to conduct before you break camp?
Feed and water the mounts. I guess we do that when at the new camp too. But, the horse and slaughter are happy.
That's fine. You break camp. Millie, are you the one that's doing the navigation for the most part?
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead and give me a survival check, see if you can find another suitable camp. Easy peasy. Yeah, you go up the road, probably about a mile and a half, find another clearing that's suitable, basically has the same amenities. You've burnt the corpses at the last camp. And you may bed down for the night if you so choose. Setting up any sort of a watch order?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Zopa will go first because, that light thing. Although it's already after dark, isn't it?
It is after dark.
She'll wait till the last one, so she has a little bit of...
I'll take the first one.
I was like, I can do the first one because I got dark vision.
I don't have dark vision, but I do have things that light up.
Are we doing 2s for watches or 1s?
You taught us that we have to do 2s for watches, Jedryn.
That's right. So I'm going to be on.
Establish the buddy system.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna be up Zopa at the end, I think.
What?
It comes from the vigilance. Profession
Yep.
vigilance. Dude.
Yeah.
They would have half the party on watch if they could.
Yep.
All right. So first watch is
me and.
Excellent. I would like the ladies to each give me perception checks. You may both have advantage because you're helping one another.
Perception. I have to make the merp noise when I click the. I don't know why I always make a merp noise.
The cutest thing I have ever heard in my life is that they had to stop Ewan McGregor during the filming of Star Wars to inform him that they put the lightsaber sounds in afterward. Because while he was
going boom boom?
Yeah, that's while he's fighting, he's going.
Who would not?
Damn right, yeah. that does really warm the cockles of my heart, though.
It does.
I promise I have clicked perception.
That's fine.
I see it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Yep.
you see it? I can't see it.
I don't see it. What does it say?
16, 19, and I got 18,
Oh, that's
16.
no, that's her survival.
That's
from her.
Oh, that's survival. Oh, I thought I misread that. My bad.
If you need to reboot, you're fine. But the point being is Triss at least has gotten a very good solid one, so we don't have to worry too much about anything. You can refresh if you need to, Millie, and we'll see if you crit, but otherwise... the short answer is that there's nothing particularly alarming. It seems to be a fairly peaceful night. However, you do notice Zopa is kind of in a bit of a cold sweat.
Zopa's still having nightmares. And I do anything to calm her.
Is it behaving better now, Ayli?
No, I told you don't run up and try and stab it with your magic sword. No, stop it.
Well, I wouldn't call that behaving better, but it's behaving. You're just
The giraffe took my lunch money.
you're playing with the mice, and that's when Triss notices Zopa's distress. Zopa, you're laying in your bedroll when you feel.
I am not, because my bedroll is underground
right.
somewhere.
You're laying on the ground, on the bare ground.
On half of my bedroll.
When you are, your sleep is disturbed as you feel the pitter patter of small clawed feet on your chest.
So I'm like woken up by this?
Yes. You open your eyes. Everyone else around you is asleep. Triss and Millie seem to have fallen asleep as well.
Oh, so I didn't see this. Okay.
Oh, you absolutely see him freaking out or see her freaking out and sweating.
Right. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I don't even open my eyes yet. I just stab that direction.
You feel
dodge.
You feel a hand catch your wrist, and you hear. Look at me, coward.
Open my eyes.
You see what appears to be almost a bat-like creature on your chest. It has a lengthy beak. Its flesh is almost like tarnished silver. It has wings. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check if you don't mind.
14.
This looks similar to drawings you've seen of a heart clutch devil.
Okay. It's not that dog, so I feel appreciative. But I'm really confused. What are you doing here?
I just wanted to come and smell a soul's. Start sniffing you.
I'm going to reach for my other dagger that's stabbed on my leg. Kind of pull it up.
All right, you pull the dagger up.
And I'm going to try and stab it.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll.
12.
Wonderful. So, Triss, you're watching. You're seeing him. They're seeing her roll back and forth and sweating. And
I'm going to drop a lesser restoration on her in hopes that maybe.
Okay, you cast lesser restoration. Doesn't seem to have any effect. You see her reach up with one arm, and then you see her bring her dagger up and jam it into her own hand. Go ahead and take 5 piercing.
Does it wake me up?
That wakes you up.
And then my screaming probably wakes everyone else up.
Whoa! go. What the hell?
And I mean, it is straight through. Like, you could let go and it'll just stay there.
I'm clutching my hand, looking around, and I've like stood up at this point. I'm like, where did he go?
Tits, Zopa! What did you do?
Where is it? Where is it?
It's
Why did
stuck
you
in your
fall asleep?
hand.
Oh, will someone pull this out?
Pull out dagger, cast cure light. What?
Why did you fall asleep? And what was
I
that
didn't
thing?
fall asleep. You were having a nightmare. Was it the hound again?
I give you that look like, no, it was, sorry, what kind of devil?
Hard clutch.
One of those.
With the what? I'm guessing I have to make a knowledge religion to know what the hell she's talking about.
Or an arcana check, whichever.
Or same difference, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're really your knowledge at that point with a 10. They're small servants.
Fiend.
Small servants of Chardoon.
Yeah.
What's that?
More Chardoon.
Oh.
But with a 14, Jedryn, you are aware that, yes, they are, in fact, part of the hierarchy of the Iron Hells, but
but in the creature collection. Not just any devil.
You haven't gotten it. You should. I do believe it's on sale right now, actually.
Yeah. Although not that shiny limited edition copy.
Not the shiny limited edition copy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The Gilsbad Nomicon.
Don't tempt me. I was binge watching Ash vs. Evil Dead over the weekend.
Nice.
It's really good, by the way. If you have slept on it like I have, now you should catch up with it. They're created by greater devils to send messages between their servants, deliver warnings to those who displease them, and serve their masters as favored minions, as spies, watchdogs, or even familiars. They are fond of tormenting the weak, especially those they have subjected to their insidious sneezing death. The thing that makes them particularly dangerous is that they can infect you with a magical disease that literally makes you sneeze out your constitution. But
or magical diseases.
I've had sneezing attacks like that.
But the pertinent thing here, they don't, as far as you know, lore-wise, they have no way of actually entering someone's dreams. But
it's a good thing I was awake then.
But from a symbolic perspective, they're messengers often sent by more powerful beings.
Yeah. So my guess would be that basically it was projected into your dream as a way of reminding you that the crap that's out there is still out there.
Anyone else have bad dream?
You know, if you two don't want to admit that you fell asleep, that is okay. But we need to keep an eye out for this thing.
Shush you. We were awake. No one else had a bad dream?
Not so far.
Not this time.
Not so far.
As far as I know, I didn't have a bad dream.
Did everybody wake up with the stabbing?
What'd you say?
Does everybody wake up with the stabbing?
With the screaming, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I assume the scream, yeah.
I'm going to make Zopa a nice relaxing tea that will hopefully have her sleep without more bad dreams. It can't stop visions from gods, but I can at least chill a little bit.
I'm just going to stay up with the watch because
I was going to say, I definitely
got to keep an eye out for this thing.
Yeah, I definitely slept through the scream because I'm used to sleeping in a barn with animals.
That make noise and stuff, right? That's fair.
So like the occasional neigh and whinny and all that stuff.
Cheshire, strangely enough, you were not having a bad dream at all. You were in a babbling brook surrounded by beautiful trees and flowers, where 3 priestesses of Idra were like beckoning you to join them, and like just as you like stepped into the water, you heard this fucking horrible scream.
Zopa every time. Every time, Zopa. Having a good dream, you just stab your hand. Would I have the wherewithal, having just died in a dream like 7 days ago, to be like, I didn't think I had the mental fortitude to just get over being rent asunder that quickly.
I mean, that's not an unreasonable conclusion to come to, no.
Okay. However, Cheshire is like me, and when he wakes up, he's not very conscious. And so since Zopa is going to take this watch, I'm just going to take the watch with Jedryn and go back to sleep and hope that dream happens again.
Yeah, I was going to say. We probably just look at each other and we're like...
Yeah.
Excellent. You go back to sleep.
Yep.
That when you return to Dreamland, Cheshire, you see the brook, and you see the priestesses. But as you start walking towards the edge, they sort of all like very slowly and seductively like dip into the water completely.
So clearly, we have to take a dip. So yeah, that's...
Right. As you dive into the water and break its surface, everything around you turns to blood. Yeah. As you're trying to make out what's going on around you, through this bloody water, you see a chain shoot past your face. Followed by another, and you kind of follow the movement of that second chain, and you see a humanoid shape, a small humanoid shape above the surface of the water. Looks like it's suspended by various chains.
This small humanoid, would it be familiar in a way that I have called him Pops at any time?
I was going to say, would it be dad shaped?
It's hard to tell from under this water, but it is vaguely dad shaped.
Well, then we're going to definitely go away from whatever shooting bloody chains and attempt to go to the dad shaped shadow.
All right, you swim to the surface, you break the surface. And as you break the surface, the beautiful clearing that you were once in is completely replaced. The trees themselves replaced with sharp, pointed, spiked pieces of metal that jut forward from the ground. The sky, no longer blue. It's like a black, roiling clouds that have streaks of purple and red throughout them. You see flashes of this reddish brown lightning. And suspended in what appears to be an infinite network of chains, held by his arms and legs, both extended fully, and his face pulled out to full length, like Jesus wept, like Hellraiser style, is your dad. And he says, "Forget about this. Don't worry about it." And you wake up.
I hate everybody so much right now.
Millie's probably yawning, I think, a little bit at this point. Triss is kind of getting a little heavy eyes. You're at the end of your watch as Cheshire shoots up.
Good, your turn.
So it's the beginning of the second, about the transit between first and second watch right now.
Yeah, it's on time basically for you to wake up.
Gotcha.
Good.
What would I have to roll to see if I could see if this dream is some sort of like premonition, some sort of warning, some sort of like, oh my, get your dad?
You can roll a religion check or an arcana check to see if there are like images in there that make sense within the context of a religion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 14. You know full well that Chardoon is the master of the Iron Hells. Right. Souls that are sent to him that aren't immediately pressed into service as soldiers are tormented, usually by being dangled from chains.
Chains, okay.
Chains.
Okay, no blood. I'm just gonna get up and well, I'm definitely not going back to sleep, so I'm just going to start the wash.
All right. Millie, Triss, anything you're doing before you go to bed?
Just checking on the critters and going to bed.
Yeah.
All right.
I assume someone wakes me up for watch.
I will, because we did that the eye thing.
All right. So you wake Jedryn up. Jedryn, your dreams are you don't remember them. There's nothing in place.
Yeah. Thankfully, I don't have much of an imagination.
And Korggix as well. You don't really, nothing really leaps out at you as being particularly of interest in your dreams. Zopa, the rest of your night is peaceful, all things considered. The pain makes it a little hard to sleep. But even if your wound was treated, it still hurts. Maybe something psychological going on. Triss, as you sleep, your dreams are dominated with running through the forest in wolfen form.
Ooh.
Chasing after something. You know you're on a hunt, but you don't know for what. And it's kind of that the whole night long. You're living in those senses, living in that space, living in that mentality of the hunt.
A wolf? I haven't dreamt about being a wolf yet.
But you can't, like, the specifics escape you. You're just having, you have an intimate like awareness of the feeling of that hunt, of that pursuit, of that, of the wind rushing, past you. In a pristine, beautiful forest. Your guess, based on what you know, would be that it's the Ganges, but it looks maybe a little different. Maybe a little more pristine, a little more beautiful, if that's possible. But that dominates your night.
I must find that place.
And Millie.
Yeah.
As you're dreaming, you find yourself completely surrounded by light.
This is nice.
Absolute brightness. And you see a sort of hole in that brightness appear in the distance and start moving forward toward you. At first, its shape is difficult to discern. It's somewhat spherical, but as it gets closer, it expands outward, and you see what look like 7 wings come off of it, like feathery wings. Each one probably twice as long as this central spherical mass. And as it still is increasing in closeness. You start to make out some detail. You see 7 bands that appear to be carved of adamantine in like an interlocked, constantly rotating circle. On the outside of each of those bands is 7 eyes. And floating in the center of it appears to be what looks very close to a human heart that has a mouth on it.
Neat.
And as it flies
That's some Old Testament shit happening right here.
And as it flies up to you close enough that you feel like maybe you're getting an actual representation of its true size and shape, it looks like it's probably about, the center mass is probably about 20 feet side to side. So then you add a 40-foot wingspan in every direction on either side of that. And as it gets within that distance of you, it whispers, "Hello, child. Do not be afraid."
Hello, child. What?
Do not be afraid.
Really is some Old Testament shit.
What's the first fucking thing you'd say to somebody if you looked like that?
No, it's cool. It's all cool.
Does this feel familiar to me at all from my early childhood?
Familiar is probably a bit of a stretch. There is something of almost like a deja vu sensation to the surroundings, but this being is definitely new.
Okay. Okay.
I've come to look upon you and to bring you tidings.
Okay.
You will be called upon, you will be needed.
For what?
I cannot yet say, but what I can tell you is there will come a fork in your road soon. You will need to choose between offering healing and redemption here on the physical world or salvation to someone far away. The choice must be yours, but the need is much greater where you are. You were placed there for a purpose.
No pressure, though, right?
I have faith in you. You will do the right thing. I am proud of you, my child.
Thank you.
It starts to float backward.
Nice to meet you.
I am with you always. You need only search for me inside your heart.
Oh. Good to know.
Its wings fold up. It flies off, takes off at a weird angle that's not, achievable through current aerodynamics. Looks like a UFO flying away. And then replaced with total brightness that slowly fades to dark as your eyes open. Let's get perception rolls from our watchers, please.
Right. Now that's deception.
You try that too. We're not here.
11.
18.
Yeah. Aside from noticing some extra zen sort of pouring off of Millie, you don't really notice anything, Cheshire. And Jedryn, yeah.
My arms and legs are moving.
Quiet night. Oh, yeah. It's on her back.
You're used to this from me, though. I mean,
yeah, none of us have ever shared a freaking bunk bed with you. It's just not a good idea.
Never a good idea.
It's the same thing as when you like see a dog that's chasing something in a dream. Like you can you can clearly tell.
Yeah, I've already written a whole backstory and name for this new character. So
nice, love it. So yeah, you all wake up, have your things together. Are you going to go back to the original? I guess first of all, as you're preparing your meals, is there anything you want to discuss? And then, do you intend to go back and try to track these hags down, or move on with your life?
I will stop anybody trying to cook me food.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want anything cooked.
okay.
So last night I definitely chatted with Jedryn. At first, somewhat cryptically, remember that time I chopped Dad's arm off? How many limbs can I chop off and him still be alive?
We fixed that problem, but
there might be a tiny larger problem that our super smart dad was super dumb in getting himself into. And now he might end up in the hells, being tortured forever. So that's the thing.
You're going to make me stop using one of my favorite curse words. Like, is there now, or is likely to end up in? Because likely to end up in, I can definitely buy.
So I'll explain the dream, focusing heavily on like the fun part at first, like trying to get myself into the.
So he gives you like 20 minutes of softcore porn before.
I mean, I've had brothers for a while, so
right. Like why is Dad in this dream? That's weird.
Yeah, but Chester's the only brother who would talk about this kind of thing. So,
and
I think Gix is a little stunted in that regard.
Yeah.
I will go in depth about the. And then I saw Dad, and I'm pretty sure it was Dad, and then it definitely was Dad, and there were multiple chains, and someone like embedded, and then he was like being pulled, and then he said the dumbass Dad thing was like, "Don't believe in yourself, you can go away," and I was like,
God,
you idiot. So if he's there now, I don't know. I mean, my magic doesn't allow me to see into different planes, so probably not.
Yeah, I mean, and if he's there now, all kinds of things have gone really badly wrong. And
your reaction should have been, "What, you have magic?" But
No. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think we're up to, storming the hells to get Dad back right now.
That's the thing. Like, I would like to help him. I do think it may possibly be out of our abilities.
I mean, if I was anything like observant, I guess I could pray to Tunnel and ask her what to do, but she's not going to give it. She's going to be like, "And who the fuck are you again?"
I mean, my question is like, who really is Dad? Like, I always knew he was into some shady things. Like, that's kind of what he does, kind of what we do. But like, this seems way more shady, even for him.
If he had the whip and he got captured, and they put him to death, Chardon's not a very forgiving guy.
That's fair.
All accounts. But, yeah. Just gonna put an arm around your around your elbows. I'm sorry you had to go through that, bro. That's we do what we can when we can.
Yep. But looks like what we may have to do may change pretty soon. I just hope it changes in a way that no one gets like jabbed by 10,000 chains anytime soon.
Yeah. Yep. No, I mean, this is just one big shitstorm, and we're just trying not to get hit by the biggest turds. So,
Yeah. Speaking of which, what the hell is with Zopa stabbing her arm? We have enough problems that we don't need to stab ourselves.
I mean, I'm guessing it was something that happened in a dream, and she's too Zopa to actually face up to it. But that's just my guess. I mean, we're all on edge right now. All of us could use a bunch of time off. But you keep an eye on her. I'll try to keep everybody else in line.
We won't let them die just yet. Past next month, nothing. That's out of our hands. But this month at least.
That's the goal. Yep, month at a time. That's how we've gotten through so far.
And that conversation was while everyone was sleeping. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you all wake.
We're talking like this in front of everybody.
You all rise, make your meals. Have you decided what you? So is the plan to press on? Is there any discussion that you want to have with as a family, I guess, during the breakfast?
Probably, yeah. So remind me again. I feel like there are reasonable odds that we might be able to take this hag.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be walking into her turf, so you're going to want to watch for traps. You know that chances are good if she is using haglings and sending them out to, commit petty thefts. Mm-hmm. She's probably not that.
Yeah.
Badass.
She might be desperate, yeah. Okay.
And that if you walk away and do nothing, chances are good some other farm kid is going to go missing and turn into one of them.
Yeah. So
that's the big picture. That's the picture to decide your course of action from.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically how I put it, and I say I am more than happy to take the risk and go in there and try to kick her ass. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to make that decision alone, and I don't want to drag anybody down with me. It's
unnatural. We have to. She's doing.
Not even that. It's unnatural. It's just more endless, unnecessary suffering.
Mm-hmm. Unnatural is my catchphrase.
Is it like supernatural?
No.
Too soon, man.
Way too soon. I am still in pain.
A
Sorry.
few years ago, I could have gotten you a cardboard cutout if you needed it.
I have.
So yeah.
I have cardboard cutouts, but Star Wars cardboard cutouts.
But if we're going to do this, we're going to do it real careful. Okay?
When you say that, I just look at Cheshire.
Once we get into the chopping and the slashing part of things, go ham. But we're gonna be walking into a place that she owns, that she's set up for her advantage. So we're going to want to do the sneakiest scouting that we can. We're going to want to keep her as unaware as we can until we get right on top of her.
We've done capers. Cheshire knows that Jedryn goes in for and he just waits back until someone's like, attack, and then just runs in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Zopa, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please? Okay.
I surely can.
You're good. Mm-hmm. You're a little tired, not sleeping so well, but you don't suffer exhaustion.
Yeah. So I turn to Triss and I'm like, so your shape-shifty stuff.
I just got a new one.
And what is it?
My name was Sugar, and I was a wolf who lived in a really, really nice forest.
Well, so that's an old one then, obviously.
I mean, you know what I mean. They're all old.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Before, but I just learned something new.
What's that?
Well, that I was sugar.
Yeah. Sugar might actually be good for scouting this area out without being spotted. Because, I mean, they're just wolves in these woods. So I'm not going to push it on you because...
Yeah, I can do that.
Now, I mean, be careful. And if you spot any traps or anything, I mean, I can follow along behind. Actually, with my Stalath, I can probably sneak along with you. But yeah, I could use somebody who could actually spot traps because 5th edition. So how would you feel about scouting ahead?
Listen, if you would rather roll the percentile on find traps from a 1st edition character.
She says 5th edition, but
you come into my house? Yeah.
Rogue's innate ability to find traps was lost in 3rd edition. So it's
I know.
I'm
still bitter about it. Okay.
I know you are. You bring it up a lot.
You're what? What level are you now? 4th?
4th? Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to, let me reference this handy Odysseys and Overlords Player's Guide here, available now on DriveThruRPG and print and PDF.
Rogues can actually find traps.
If you would like the your 45% chance, no 40% chance to remove traps, you're welcome to
yeah. No, okay. We'll stick with 5e. I like having 3 chances to roll a death save, so.
Yeah, that's handy.
Yep.
Instead of you die. So what happens now?
Exactly.
You're dead. That's what happens now.
I'm trying to pick my spells for the day. Guess I'll take Healing Word. That's a good one.
Any other preparatory things that anyone would like to do? And does anyone have any?
I noticed that, I definitely brewed some coffee, and then I went over and ate the grounds, which isn't a thing that they haven't not seen me do before, but everyone's going to know later not to walk behind me because it really doesn't.
Tric coffee isn't a druid spell. It's only a wizard, sorcerer, cleric.
Yeah.
Spell.
That's why I had beans. Beans.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ground up and brought from Dad's last trip to Shelzar. He brought back coffee and chlamydia.
And gave at least one of those to all of us.
There is a spell called Find Traps that I could take.
No, it's okay. That's more of an indoor thing than what I think we're going to need.
I mean, it works wherever.
It works wherever.
Yeah, but it's the volume of space we're going to be covering that I'm worried about.
It would tell me of any trap within 120 feet.
And that's a duration spell, right? Like that.
Is it?
It's not a duration spell.
Oh, yeah, that was what I was saying.
I thought it was like concentration up to a minute.
Yeah, it's not a mind sweeping kind of thing. It's
no, just you sense a presence of a trap within line of sight. So even that's limited because it's not going to tell me anything that's around a corner.
Yeah.
That's a really crappy spell for 2nd level. Oh well.
If other folks are feeling super stealthy and want to come with, I'm not trying to exclude anybody. I'm just trying to make a plan.
Otherwise, I can give you dark vision. Ooh, I'll do that instead. Okay.
All right. Well, if that's the plan, then that's the plan. Anybody have anything to modify that, or are we rolling with the dumbass stuff I came up with?
We have the mask to enthrall a hagling, maybe, and have it give us some maybe ins and outs of the lair, but that's a big if. And then we have to touch one of those little creepy bastards again. So,
yeah. Yeah. All right. So, you guys, I guess, let's stash the wagon, maybe, and but yeah, let's head back in, super quiet like, and do some scouties around.
Are you going to leave anyone to babysit the animals?
I was figuring that we'd kind of move up to the edge, and then most of the group would stay there, and Triss and I would do the scouting around and then come back.
Well, because I mean, ultimately, what you're going to need to do is go back to the previous camp and start trying to find their trail, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to try to take the animals in on that as far as you can, that's fine. But you don't know at what point you're going to hit a threshold of like, oh, now we're in hag territory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like,
I've got something I can do. Is it less than a mile away? The old camp?
Don't know. Oh, the old camp, yes.
I can cast this once a day. I can do clairvoyance. Came with the cloak.
Right.
It lets me look at a place that, I don't know if it'll help me find tracks though.
Right. I mean, you can look at the place, but I believe clairvoyance puts an immobile eye.
Sensor remains in place for the diversion. Okay, so you can't move it around. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you could, but you would just have one.
It would just tell us if there was hags or haglings back.
Right. Like, are they there? No.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we could do is.
You have a reasonable. I will say this: you have a reasonable expectation that if you tie off your animals, they will not resist that. They'll stay where they're supposed to be, particularly if you leave them with food. That does not defend them against any random fucking farmer that happens by and goes, "Oh, look at me! I got me a horse now." You know, like
except for the fact,
that one of the
will, eat his head.
Right, but I mean, you don't know who's got farms around here. Somebody might walk up that was a dragon knight for 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. 15th level commoner. I bet you could plow an awful lot of fields there.
I'm just saying, that how do you think they get their plots of land?
That acid breath be real good for getting rats out of the barn.
I know. I just imagine now, like all the farms of the heteronomy have like, just these horrible beasts and like collections of magic items that people got while they were in the service that they've just repurposed into farming tools.
Yeah, exactly.
This holy avenger I now use to reap the wheat.
Yeah. Farm came with a spontaneous golem. I've got it threshing wheat now.
Side maps.
Yeah.
Stay and protect the animals.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you go ahead, since you're going to try doing the tracking, is that correct, Jedryn?
I believe Triss is the one who's going to be doing the tracking.
All right, you're going to go into wolf form.
I'm going to wolf form and
good. You'll have advantage because of keen smell.
Anything.
That was the plan.
And I do survival.
Yes. Nice.
And then I'm going to do the sneakies to help us stay sneaky.
Excellent. You absolutely get on their trail, and you absolutely stay sneaky. So you do trek a little over a mile down that path where the one that ran off above ground ran off. And as you do, you come to like a cave mouth. And that cave mouth itself, probably about 20 feet wide, almost like an arch, but not warped. And you can definitely smell like that there's running water inside. You can definitely hear and sort of place that there's sorry, nuking a bot.
I've been neglecting the chat. I feel awful about that.
Me too. I always neglect the chats.
But you get the impression that this is a larger. This isn't just like, oh, here's a little cave. Like there's a network of caves in here, and you can tell Triss for sure that nothing has passed through here in the past, half a day, probably. Very likely the last thing that came through here were the hags running back in.
Running back in. Okay. All right.
The haglings, I should say.
Yeah. I see.
You don't smell like, oh crap, there's a coven in here. New plan in which we leave.
Yep.
All right, go back.
And you can definitely tell that at least 120 feet down this thing is a straight shot.
Go back and tell Jedryn what I saw. Shoot back in the bushes or something and tell Jedryn what I saw. I'd say get everybody else. Bring the stuff close-ish. And
sneak up quietly
and check it out. But I don't think it should just be you and me.
Oh, hells no.
Hells no.
I mean, if it was me, I'd love to get Slaughter in there. I think that big gas bag would do great in a cave system.
Okay. If he can, does it look like he'd fit? Given that he's huge.
You could fit him in there. He'd have a hard time with things like turning around, but
okay.
I mean, it's
all right.
Not that he couldn't turn around, but he would have to like squeeze a little bit.
Squeeze, yeah.
Like, he'd have to tuck. He'd have to tuck his tail up underneath.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll leave him for door guard duty then.
Well, make sure nothing runs out.
Exactly.
Surprised.
Yeah.
Right. If anything that's not us comes out, just breathe real hard at it.
Yeah, exactly. Just gas the little fuckers. Yep. All right. So we shufty on back to the group.
Hey, everybody. We found the cave.
Yep.
Any issues with that plan? Or are we going to assume that everyone's just going to head that way?
I think we're going to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. Excellent. You start heading down through the woods, coming to the mouth of the cave. You're going to set up the animals outside the mouth of the cave, tie them off, leave them with food. Is anyone going to stay behind, or are we just going to leave the instruction with Slaughter to nuke anything that comes out that's not you?
I think if Slaughter can't handle it, any of us is probably going to get eaten too. So,
I mean, do you think that's the best thing to nuke anything? I mean, what if there is a small child wandering around out here and he just nukes the child, as opposed to the things that fought us yesterday?
That he'll think we can't say don't nuke small children because one of them could be one of the haglings disguised as children, and Slaughter can't tell them apart.
Nuke anything that threatens you or attempts to take anything that belongs to us.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Good boy.
Yep.
All right.
And who needs dark vision?
I would not mind.
No, everybody I apply that to, that's one less cure mod or cure light level 2.
I mean, I'm fine wandering around with light as long as
yeah, we can make.
Well, I'd like to save the light until we actually attack. If we can do that.
I mean, I can like cast light on my dagger and then like flashlight it so I can just see what's going on.
That works.
Seriously, the only ones of us with dark vision are me and Gix.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
Not all of us can be cool rat people.
I literally can't cast it 4 times. I can cast it 3 times, and that's all my 3rd level spell slots. So, why don't I put it on Jedryn because she scouts ahead? And then we'll just use a light source behind.
Yeah, I think that works. That makes sense. Okay. I can take my little no perception act on the road. I didn't see anything. We're safe.
I have a dark vision.
Yay.
Everything's dark.
Wish there was a way of actually turning that on.
So what you can do is, those of you who have dark vision, you may alter your vision to that range on your character sheet.
Okay.
Those of you who do not have
Astro lets you
dark vision can alter your vision to 0 or whatever your light source is providing.
I like this plan. I'm proud to be a part of it.
We're going mirrored. We're going west?
Southwest, looks like, but yeah.
And
kind
so
Jedryn
is up front, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you would have healed up because we had a long rest.
Yeah, I know. I am healed up in Beyond, just not in Astral, because there are so many things.
And are any of you actively projecting light?
Not that I'm aware of, but we did have to roll Constitution saves earlier, so.
Zopa and I have light, but we're like hovering.
Right.
So like hooded lantern kind of light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sneaking like a good 30, 60 feet out ahead of people, so. Should I roll a sneaky?
Sure, please do.
Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, good God. I am the wind.
I am back because my stealth isn't that good, but I'm back. I'm close enough to Jedryn that I can see him. Her at the edge of my vision. I know. It's the ending with an N.
Sorry.
So
Sarah has things about names.
Jedryn, as you're making your way to the down into the tunnel, you do see a place where it starts to arc upward a little bit. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. One way or another, I will find the trap. Oh, hey.
Nice.
20.
So a couple things. First of all, you do hear some chattering in Titan's. That's going on. So that cave seems to be where you're going.
Okay.
Secondly, you find an odd item on the ground in front of you. It looks to be like a buckler. And this buckler is strangely intricately designed, as there are several, like, it's like a pair of interlocking squares, almost like a stylized infinity symbol, where it's squares instead of smooth corners. And in the center of each of those is like a rivet, like a dot that sticks up. And this pattern is repeated along the entire edge of the buckler and once larger in the center of the buckler. I won't make you roll for this. This is a common thing that will happen with Howl Legionnaire armor. When a Howl Legionnaire attunes to a piece of armor, it will take on their personal pattern.
Okay.
They're as unique as fingerprints. Each one has them. And
different colors depending on their spire too, I think, right?
Right. And this one, you would be able to make out the colors, but A, you're relying on dark vision right now.
Yeah.
But B, the entire thing is like laking apart with Frost.
I have never heard of that shit happening.
Not once, not ever.
Yep.
That's weird. And that is what we'll call game for this week.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ideas.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about today's session?
We're going in a dungeon.
You're going in a dungeon-like environment, yeah, which I believe is your second?
Yep.
Only your second time doing such a thing?
Yeah.
If you count the basement, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Go clean the basement. No!
Yeah, imagine the chores in Scarred-Lands.
Yep.
Need you to clean the basement. No.
I have to milk the flesh strippers first.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that was a grand old time. Congratulations, by the way. You are all now carriers of Legionnaire's Rust.
Hey.
Speaking of Dead Man's Rust, Dead Man's Rust is up on Kickstarter right now. Please go over and back it. We just unlocked VTT assets for Chapter 2, which will go to everyone who backs it for free.
Yay.
So these assets will be available for everyone to purchase later, but you get them free if you back the Kickstarter. They also rolled out a couple new stretch goals, including VTT assets for Chapter 3, a dope, if you've seen the art, obviously you know the art is dope for this book. So a dope desktop is one of them. And then the one where I start getting really, really excited about stretch goals is if we hit 22,000, the Jedryn doll gazetteer. I am very stoked at the idea of bringing Jedryn doll to 5th edition, particularly in the context of, and there's a disease that might kill your god who's also super paranoid. Wonder how you're going to take this.
Yes. He's a construct.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Ask who's writing that. But yeah.
We will figure out who's writing it if we get there. All the more reason to run around and tell people to buy it.
Please, oh God, please, because
I want all these stretch goals.
And that's just the start. Like, there's so many more things that I would love to be able to unlock. Things I have planned, but we need to get there. We need to get there first. So let's focus on Jedryn doll. Let's get us up to 22K. Spread the word. Tell your friends. I really want to examine how the god of the Drindali is going to react to finding out that something might destroy his body. Spoiler: not great.
Nathalos.
Not a very
Nathalos.
His name's harder to say.
Yes, it is.
Not a very stable fellow, that Nathalos.
No.
Yep.
He's been through a lot. He's got a little bit of trauma.
Had a hard time. Other than that, that's just the big thing I wanted to focus everyone's attention on. I will be running a one-shot tomorrow on the Onyx Path channel called Fight in the Shade, which is a group of Howl Legionnaire volunteers are going to be standing and holding a mountain pass against an onslaught of undead from Glividatel.
Oh, wow.
It's the Battle of Thermopylae D&D style. So if you want to come watch a bunch of players die, that's going to be tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern on the Onyx Path channel. We have a good selection of folks playing, and I still have a few people I'm reaching out to pad out the cast. And I'm hoping that at least one of them will give a nice, like Braveheart speech or, Leonidas speech. I'll settle for Aldo Rain from Inglourious Bastards. I want 100 zombie scalps.
I came back from the dead for one reason. That's killing zombies.
Exactly. So that should be fun. So yeah, tune in for that for sure. And tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, the good folks at We Are Nerdsmith, who just wrapped up their beautiful Frostlands of Fenric game, which, if you haven't checked it out, head over to the We Are Nerdsmith Twitch. You can watch it in the VODs. Really fun Frostlands of Fenric game they did. But now they're switching over to Dead Man's Rest for the next couple weeks. So make sure you tune in for that. I'm done with shit that I had to make sure I got out of my face before we ended. So let's do our outros. Let's kick things off this week with Cheshire. Give us your pertinence, please.
Hi. So I play Cheshire, he, him. And my name is Chaz, also he, him. Cheshire is the fighter, wizard fighter, just a fighter. But he likes to think he's a wizard. And I am a doctoral student who focuses on like storytelling and video games and music and all those things. And how they like come together to have fun. Technically, when I say video games, I technically also mean games like D&D, and have so many plans to actually do studies with D&D. I think it'd be great, but I have been told multiple times that I'm not allowed to do any more studies until I finish my thesis.
How's that coming? Aren't you like a hair's breadth from that thesis?
So this week is the end of the analysis portion. And then within the next 2 weeks, I should be writing, and then I should be defending after those 2 weeks. Thank the fucking Lord.
Yeah.
And so ideally, I will end 2020 defending my thesis.
Oh, that's perfect.
Do we get to call you doctor next year?
No, sadly. That's just for the masters. The doctorate is another.
This is the masters. I didn't realize it was a PhD.
I thought we were that close to the doctor. All right.
But we can't call him master.
Yeah,
can't call him
Master Callendar.
And then like another year and a half, maybe 2, because I have to do the dissertation for the doctorate.
Well, I think that'll be a great thing for you to use when you're running a campaign too. Like I am Dungeon Master MS. The Dungeon Master of Science. See, I got just ideas just fall out of here.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They're not all very good. Most of them, but that one was funny. All right. Well, congratulations, and keep us posted on how it goes. I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. Millie, give us your pertinence, please.
Hello, my name is Ayli Cat. I am a fetish model. You can find me online at Kitty Curiosity. I'm also part of an X-rated D&D stream called Roll for Seduction, and you can find us online at Roll Seduction, or on Twitter at Roll Seduction, or online at rollforseduction.com. And we have a couple Safe for Work projects as well on our YouTube now, so that's neat. I'm also one of the writers of Frostlands of Fenric, so definitely check that out. And all of my other content, only check out if you're over 18.
Please, with sugar on top. Don't. Just wait. You'll be fine. You'll be 18 eventually, and then you'll have a backlog to look through.
That's right. Oh, right. And my pronouns are she/her, and I play Millie, the Tiefling Ranger, whose pronouns are she/they.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. And also, I do want to point out that while I am running a game over on Roll Seduction, I will not be returning for the rest of the year because of fires and everything. But I will be back in January. We have not seen the last of that crew by a stretch. So just hang on and be patient. I promise there's more coming. Korggix, go ahead and give us your pertinence. I'm going to throw the link to Frostlands in the chat.
Yeah, I am Korggix. They are he, him, just as I am. I go by Tric, or the hair trick, because Cosmic Horror and puns is hysterical. Variety streamer on Twitch. Play just about everything and anything, and bit the hell out of them. I typically gravitate towards talking about level design, but we'll talk about anything happily if you stop by. I also am making some stuff over on Patreon, a ton of posts. The last 5 days went up. I'm really close to finally being able to run some games, super close in the game setting for the book dealio that I'm making. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, make sure to check out the Patreon. And yeah, that's really about it.
Sweet. Next up, that leaves us to Triss, give us your pertinence, please.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stewart. I'm she, they. I play Triss, the rat folk druid, who's she, her. I am also a Scardlands creator person. You can find my stuff on DriveThruRPG, including Frostlands and Novel Vigilant and about 5 other titles, including a thing that goes with Frostlands, Yenny's Journal, and we're working on a new title for Frostlands, hopefully be out in January. All things going well, January, February. On Fridays, you can find me and Jeremy. Did you mention this already, Jeremy? You can go on
I haven't gone yet.
Lawyer No. Oh, you haven't gone yet. You go after me. Lawyer No. And last week we talked about Hornsaw Forest. This week about the history of the Hornsaw Forest. This week we're going to talk about the Hornsaw Forest in detail. Talk about the various factions. So if you don't have enough rust yet, there's some more. We'll be talking about like kind of the old lore that came out with the old Hornsaw book and how that kind of fits into the new 5e rule set.
Well, and if you're feeling, extra researchy, today's update was Chapter 3 of the Hornsaw Forest.
Yeah. I will, because I don't have enough to do this week. I'll be able to answer all your deep questions on that stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at More Like This Too. If you really want to find me on Twitter, I'm trying to check it at least a couple times a week. Or More Like This Industries.com is our website, which has been updated. Mm-hmm. Kind of.
Rock and rolla. Next up, we have Zopa. Give us your pertinence, please.
I feel like everything has been covered. Like all the things I do has been mentioned. I'm Jeremy. That's the thing. He, him, playing Zopa, she, her. You can find my stuff on DriveThru, like everyone else. Most of the same things, too.
Did I see you're on a Kickstarter for another heavy beastie thing from Kobold, or did I transpose things in my head?
I wrote for Tomo Beast 2, but that happened already.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, now they're on Southlands, and while writing for Southlands would have been fun, I was not on that book.
It looks great, and it's rocking on Kickstarter, so I have to bring over there and grab a copy of that myself if my poverty permits. And last but most certainly not least, Jedryn. Only least in stature.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Hi, my name is Fran Stewart, she, her, and I'm playing Jedryn, the very grumpy halfling rogue, also she, her. I have worked on all kinds of different Scardland stuff. Sarah already mentioned the novel we co-wrote. And I've written other stuff too. You just probably don't care so much about that because you're all into the Scardlands. But I love meeting new people, so come find me on most social media as Francis Stewart and on Twitter at Ronald Valor, and come up and introduce yourself.
Please do. And
he's got books on Amazon, like for real.
Just a quick note. I know the holidays are weird and schedules are funky, but as far as I know, we are not changing our schedule at all in the coming. If that changes, I'll let you know. If any of these players have holiday plans, we will probably take a week off or do a one-shot or something like that.
I don't think any holidays fall on a Monday.
Yeah, the closest is if somebody's doing something for Christmas. But I mean, realistically, what you should be doing for Christmas is staying the fuck at home and washing your hands. Is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
So
give the gift of not killing your relatives.
Right. Come on, America.
I don't know if that lines up with my zero empathy for people other than myself.
So you're saying his Gix has more empathy than you do, Tric?
I mean, that's I'd buy it.
You know me. I've totally left my house more than like twice since March.
Right. All right, y'all. Be good to yourselves and each other. Wash your hands, mask up, and we will see you next week.
Yay. Bye, everyone.